Welcome back to the Emote Shopping Network. Today, we have great deals for a great cause. So in this turntable, we have some of the finest emotes from Moofy over at twitch.tv/LCS_Challengers. And guys, I'm not exaggerating. These are all custom made and can be yours. We sold out of our limited edition Founders badges, but the rest of the collection can still be yours with a click of the button. Makes great gifts for grandparents, kids, or that special someone in chat. You know, I'm not supposed to do this, but get this. If you use your Twitch Prime, you get all of this for free. That's right, no money down, all yours on Jeffrey's tab. But wait, there's more. If you want to complete your collection, check out these custom emotes over at twitch.tv/PathToLCS. And half the proceeds go directly to helping the players in the league. Wow, an incredible deal, and you won't want to miss it. Hello, and welcome back. We're here for the Rally Cry halftime show, and before we get into the fun segment that I have planned right behind us, I do want to talk a little bit about that game because of how important these games are, especially between FlyQuest and Wildcard. And we have a whole replay package that I kind of want to go through. It's going to be just a couple minutes because I want to illustrate everything for everyone. Really kind of dive in a little bit further since I feel like this game, I don't know if some of the plays were nerves or if it was just like the team's feeling the pressure. But a play like this where I see Keel kind of far out extended, didn't have Sligo to back him up, and got a little surprised that he got jumped on.
So that one, it was kind of a flip from Keel. Like he is expecting that Yuji is going to be on the bot camps and then bases to go clear the rest. But Yuji just went to the level 2 respawns. So I think that's what got Keel behind.
Yeah, we got to watch this again.
And then we see the ultimate CC chain and the ultimate CC, which is the hammer swing. AKA the golf swing.
I picked this one on purpose because I wanted to tilt Mazel a little bit. He is a marksman player, for those that don't know.
But so that's the thing. Like, it's cool. Like, the fact that Sligo got the timeout, we didn't see that in our last series when we had this matchup, right? And so the timing is cool. It's just the fact that it exists.
See, you say that, but Tristana could also rocket jump buffer out of a lot of CC. So I think that it's a fair trade-off, personally.
Yeah, League of Legends, which abilities take priority as well. This was a great play from FlySol.
It was, yeah.
Engage this one. I think it was a really good call from FlyQuest. Down numbers across the map, or I should say even numbers across the map, so it was in base. But the fact they took that fight when all the ultimates were down and came up with a win they did, I think was a great call. And what really got them the lead they ended up running with is this was Spyrax. Right after he went down in topside, gets right back on track. Was able to clean up this fight very handily. Has really good play from Yuji there on the rel too.
I went downstairs, so I was like hopping off the king. It's like, oh, look how crazy Spyrax is on the true side. He's like, wait, did you forget about Masu? And that's the thing. You cannot forget about either of these guys when they're in a composition like this because they are both so damn lethal.
I mean, you saw that from the damage that Masu was doing in that game, right? I think that was something that was kind of undervalued just because Spyrax was playing a little bit more of a flashy champion that gets the resets, that can constantly jump in and out of the battles. As you can see, Spyrax is everywhere all the time at once.
This one from Spyrax, the cluster shots cancel the J's Q and the stopwatch. That's a sign of someone that knows their champ limits right there. And I will say, Karthus benefits from doing just some wild inanimate damage.
Just a little bit of damage. Just free damage that he gets by pressing R.
I mean, but the thing is, he had R's that were cleaning kills for FlyQuest, right? Like, it's not just about being able to spam it, but it was the timing, a lot of them. And the kind of plan that Wildcard were like, okay, we've got a fight going, we got a fight. Oh my god, Requiem is coming in.
And what can you do to stop that, right? Absolutely nothing, because it is Karthus, and Karthus does what Karthus wants. But that is the post-game breakdown that we have for you. Now, I'm actually surprised that Masu gets the play of the game. I personally would have given it to Spyrax. I personally would have given it to Spyrax.
Somebody was talking to Kangas downstairs, I guess.
Yeah, someone was. I think that Spyrax was my MVP, but, you do you.
I mean, 38% damage percentage is pretty gnarly as
That's Karthus. That's gnarly. That's what I expect from a Karthus.
I appreciate the player of the game here, but if we're going to give one out, it has to go to both. right? Because I think
you know what, that's
without
fair.
both of these guys, like this would
twinning.
be a non-existent game from FlyQuest.
They were
And I
twinning.
think the fact that we see Spyrex still playing so Giga Chad on this Tristana, and the fact that we have the flexibility in the draft, but not only that, have Masu go this Karthus and have such an influence. It's just, again, I said at the end of the game, refreshing to see from FlyQuest.
I mean,
You know
hot take. Masu would have been my 5th player of the game for FlyQuest. Just gonna throw it out there.
Is that because you have a bias against Karthus?
No, I mean, yeah, you just like press R and do damage, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Same thing
I
with
expect my
Syndra.
Karthus to do that much damage. But that's single target damage with Syndra. Get off of it, Marcel. You know what we're talking about here. Though, I will say the fact that he was down at gold at 15, he did die to first blood in that game, yet still was able to bounce back,
did.
is very impressive from Masu. It's something that we have praised from him many a time. So, then we get it over on the other. Oh, we get a play of the game from the other side.
All right.
Oh, hello. Zaligo.
Oh, no, look at the GD at 15, all right?
oh no,
No, we're just gonna ignore that.
Yeah.
it was a good play by FlyQuest
It
to turn
was.
things around. We'll start and end there. You know?
Let's start and end there. We saw FlyQuest taking that game over. Sligo, you did have the one play that upset Mazel, which made me a little happy, so I'm happy about that. And with that, though, we have our game 1 between Wildcard and FlyQuest. So let's get back to us so I can show you all my lovely chalkboard where I have drawn the logos.
That's
as we're going to
pink.
play.
That's not red. That's teal. That's not green. What is this?
You know what? Bad Magical, I'm going to hope this earns me brownie points throughout this game.
Yeah.
I like those. I think that
Thank
those are
you.
nice. I think
Thank
you did
you.
a
Such
nice
a
job.
suck up, Cubby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cubby,
You
free
PayPal
point.
the guy. At
Cubby
least I
free-
tried, you know.
Cubby
Hey,
free
it was
point.
play
Cubby
by
gets a
play
point.
bucks, okay? They were free.
Cubby gets a point for this one already. So there you go. All right. Well, I have our logos, and on it, this is a segment I call Magical Draws, which I did not steal from Lennon in any way at all, where I have drawn things on the chalkboard. And so, you guys, I'll let Cubby choose first because Cubby, he
Oh
gets
my
the brownie
God.
point as well. So you
Wild
get to
card
choose
panel.
which wild card panel. All right. So, behind here, I have drawn something that represents a moment in the game, and you'll have to guess. So this one is going to be more of an equation. Let's see if you can figure this one out.
Equation?
Uh,
I hate this. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Red line plus arrow equals dead Yuji.
No. No, Cubby.
Cubby.
No.
There's a rocket.
There's
there's
a
a
rocket
analyzer?
jump. There's an angry me. And there's a hammer in the picture. What do you think
Oh.
it is?
I didn't realize that was you from the drawing.
That is him. It's got the headphones.
It's got the headphones. You see, that's the thing that gives it away. Absolutely.
That's what gives it away.
You said it's from the game. This is from the cast.
This is from the game.
Technically
And
from
this,
the game.
From the game. This happened from the
Equals-
cast. So, Lennon, you get the point for that one. And because of that,
Where's
also...
where's your PayPal now, Cubby?
All I'm going to say is that if you're in Twitch chat right now and you feel like that looks like a dredge line plus an enchanted crystal arrow,
Okay, I'm
with
sorry.
it.
How does that look like a dredge line? How
It's
does that
not
look
an
like a dredge
anchor.
line?
it
That is not
depends
an
on the
anchor.
skin, man.
That is, no, it
depends
does
on the
not.
skin.
It does
There
not.
is no
It does
skin
not.
that is a hammer for Nautilus.
Yes, it's the construction one. All right.
No, it's still an anchor. It still goes like this.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Cubby
I've
has
said
problems
my
with
truth.
shapes. We need to go look up a picture of an anchor right now.
I almost feel like we do, but instead we're going to play the halftime show.
Said
All
my
right,
truth.
all right, that works for me.
Lennon, pick between the panels that we have available.
Oh, you know, I wasn't gonna do
Wow,
it.
FlyQuest. Cool.
Crazy. Oh no! Don't die!
As it almost falls on me. There you go.
No.
I scuffed the
Okay,
picture a little
okay,
bit, but
okay.
what is it?
This looks like a multi-rocket jump. Or is this the red rock? I don't remember what it was in mid lane. Whenever he was like popping off over the wall for Spyrax. It has to do with Tristan. It has to.
Look at
There's
the
a
artist having Blybard.
Imagine the.
Yes, you're right.
easel not
It's
working
the
with
red
you.
rocket call that you had.
Swinging
The-
panels.
And that is the explosions, the multiple rocket jumps as well. So yes, you got that. You have 2 points to Cubby's 1, but there is a chance for Cubby to come back in. There is one final
Where's my
piece of art
crown?
that I have on the back.
Unfair
of
bias.
here.
These are about the cast, not about the game itself.
And this one is going to be a bit have a bit of an addition to it as I'm going to go through it. So first off, I'll show you what I've drawn.
Addition
Okay,
to it
okay,
isn't going to
okay.
go through it.
Oh,
So, all
I know what it is.
right.
I mean,
So-
I want to say it's the Lincoln Memorial, but it has library on top.
It's library. Get it right.
Yeah.
Not library. Come on.
Yeah.
Is this the trip to the library that Masu took when he had 20 pages of his Magi's?
Yeah, when he had 25. And what happened after that?
He got player of the game because it was biased. Oh, he did die once, but then he got them all back.
No, he
Then
didn't. He didn't get all of them back. He got 19. He was at 19 at the end of the game. The library burnt. The library burnt down to the ground. It was dead. It's all dead.
Hey, we don't do this in America, all right? We don't burn books.
Keep our book.
We just throw tea into the ocean. That's all we do. Yeah. So, but there you go. Yeah, you were right. It was the 25 stacks that then, unfortunately, he did die to. So, did lose out on the stacks. But with that, that's going to be 3 points earned by Mazel, earning you the champion of the draws. I mean, it's only appropriate that the.
Did you send me my crown yet? I can't find it. Wait. I have a crown.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
Now let's see.
Downstairs. I was gonna get my cowboy hat.
Oh, you mean the cowboy hat I gave you?
Yes, that one. The one that's downstairs that I don't have with me right now.
Let's get into the next game.
Not yet. No, hold on. We gotta have the victory speech here from Mazel. So Mazel, give us a quick victory speech. The last 10 seconds and 10 seconds exactly.
I just want a banger for game number 2. To finish up our day, I want to be able to yell at the top of my lungs. So I want Wildcard. I want FlyQuest to show up. It might not be a victory speech because I have to.
All right, that's the end of the victory speech. Thank you so much, Mazel. You're the winner of the game. Oh, I got the crown.
I got a crown. Let's go. I am the king.
Right, now the king will get us into our second game of this series, the last one we have of day 2 for week 5. Gentlemen, get us underway.
Well, Cubby, what do you have to say?
I feel like the play-by-plays are ganging up on me, and I don't like this.
I just saying, usually when you approach a royal welcome, you have to either give gifts or, say something nice.
This is me knighting you.
Oh, I'm getting
my pen.
This thing is not staying on my head. Anyways, FlyQuest Challengers will be getting on blue side for this game number 2. We get the Kaisa and the Sejuani band, and there goes the crown. We get the LeBlanc as well banned out by Wildcard. They're on the red side with the Maokai joining.
And what happens to Tristana here? Mazel, that's the real question.
It's first pick.
Do we see Triss first pick by the side of FlyQuest? Do we see the Triss Chase handshake one more? Is that champ banned next from Wildcard? These are all the things that I'm wondering and more as we dive into game 2.
We're entering into the Twilight Zone now.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, got to keep in mind, Kindred, pretty big pick for each of our teams here.
It is.
I think FlyQuest, kind of considering whether to take that off table or not. Actually going to take away Zamido's Rumble. I do like that. I feel like Zamido's Rumble is very good. I like the comps of Wildcard builds around it. But now, Kindred or Trist, I feel like you have to pick one, maybe leave them each up. I'd rather see Tristana banned. Okay, gonna take away Olaf, hitting Faisal's pool just a little bit here.
And very similar focus to what FlyQuest had last game around, but there is that Kindred, and UG will be the one on it, so something definitely terrifying, but something I also expect Keel to have an answer to, right? This is also one of his tried and true champions, and he loves to bring out the tech.
I'm down with Poppy always. They can flex this with Zamudo as well, as it will be the Azir taken. We saw this combo game 1 of today with EG going up in their series. We saw some good moments from the Azir Poppy and the ability for the combo between the Emperor's Divide and, of course, that Poppy pretty deadly, as EG weren't quite able to pick that one up. It was an oopsie later from Ryoma, but you know.
Don't worry about it. Question X does come to FlyQuest's side, though, but I will say a lot of comfort already coming through. I love that Saligo is going to get his most played champion on that Azir. We do have that Nico on the other side, and I think Spyrex has been able to have some incredible plays on this, a lot of unique paths, and he was one of the ones that used that combo over the wall where he gets the flash as the Pop Blossom is being cast. I'm looking for a lot of creativity from this mid lane for FlyQuest.
It's 3-0 for FlyQuest and Spyrex, and this does get priority mid, which will really help that Kindred. Also, why not grab the Cassante? Gives you some control over that Lamb's Respite and has been so damn good for Faisal. Zamudo has a chance to answer that pick here. We have seen Zamudo go for a lot of picks. I think his favorite in the into the Cassante either been Gragas or Malphite. So interested to see if Zamudo decides to switch that up. Jace is still on the board. It's a bit of a risky pick this game, I think, given the hard engage coming out from FlyQuest, but is a champ that Zamudo has still played quite a bit of.
There you go.
That could be the case. It's going to be the Malphite, so you can't answer back that Nico engage. Bot lane's on the table. Love to see, honestly, a Xayah taken away here by FlyQuest. I think Xayah deals really well with Nico plus Cassante. So I think that should be denied here from Fly.
I also, right now at least, like just a lot of the combo potential, a lot of the alley-oops that are available for Wildcard going into a Kindred. Because right now, all my eyes are on Yuji, right? The Kindred is going to be a very strong pick, and it's about how he pilots it early on. So the fact that Wildcard already have a lot of tools to deal with it, that is pretty big. We do get the Varus focus for Wildcard in the second phase yet again.
But think about taking Rel away from FlyQuest 2, given the combo that you have with Nico plus Rel. Pretty deadly, as FlyQuest actually denies that one themselves, so afraid that Wildcard would take that on 4. I don't blame FlyQuest for that ban. I feel like they could have saved it maybe one more in case Wildcard took that away. Wildcard continues to take away some magic damage options from Masu, as Masu has played one game at Karthus and is now getting Karthus banned away.
Rightfully so. I mean, the man popped off, and it was a subtle backseat ride until it wasn't for him, and that's something that gives FlyQuest so much strength. Now we're looking at the second phase, the finality for FlyQuest, as it is the Xayah that gets banned away you highlighted earlier.
I want FlyQuest to go Milio this game. I think it could be pretty good.
Okay. Bit of protection, at least, and also
double
a little bit of peel back.
Yeah, double marksman, as I'm expecting an Aphelios for Wildcard. I think that's the pick here. And then grab Milio, I think that's actually not bad. It does open up a Donbray Lulu. I think it actually does serve really well for Wildcard moving forward. So that is something to worry about just a little bit, as I was expecting Jinx Milio to be the response, but Ezreal, pretty good option of what Wildcard's showing here. No one can really get onto Ezreal, and you do outrange Aphelios, and also Masu's a really good Ezreal player. He's been one of the people playing it the entire time. He's got one game in the Ezreal so far this split. That is a win. If this is the case,
on the graphic.
Yeah, if this is the pick, I don't really want... Oh, wow. Okay, we go Ziggs. So Masu's still playing that magic damage bot lane. It is a counter into Aphelios, but this will now lead to a Nautilus or Leona lock-in, most likely, to try and really force the engagement pressure.
Get a lot of that forward CC, at least, for FlyQuest to follow up this double-centered carry composition. I would really like just something that Winsome can get out on the map, leave Masu to his own devices, just kind of like he did on the Karthus. And it is going to be the Nautilus picked up, and that exactly provides what I was looking for.
Bard would be interesting. I actually like Bard this game. I think Bard is unique into Ziggs because you can actually use the magical journeys to like get through minefields and get through chokes at points.
Little things.
Yeah, it's no, honestly, I think it's a unique counter.
There it is, the Leona.
Leona keeps rising in priority. You can somewhat stat check the Nautilus and you still have good engage. So that will be the pickup here for Wildcard. And a lot of this, I want to see if Wildcard can engage first, because if you can stop Nico from going in, most of Nico's power comes from ulting early in fights. And then you can get clean up from there. Yeah. And FlyQuest, of course, they do have that marksman still in Yuji, but pretty unique damage profile here from FlyQuest, as it will be slightly, ever so slightly magic damage favored, I think, coming out from them. So not bad into the Malphite.
A Pop Blossom on top of a Mega Death would just be Mega Inferno Bomb.
It's a lot of damage.
It's going to be a lot of damage, but it has to get to that point, right? And that's where, looking at game one, when we're looking at track record, I think Wildcard did have some good moves early on. We were seeing them use a lot of pathing advantages. Keel had that insane level 2 gank bot lane. But now you've got yourself some more stability, I feel like. Something to play around, and so much CC. I don't even think you have to ask for more.
I am really curious what ends up happening with Yuji's early clear. I think invading topside very much on the table for him going up against Wildcard.
We'll be getting into game number 2 here shortly. It was Wildcard who came out, handled the business, and gave a little bit of flexibility to their draft in game number 1. Now we're right back to that with Masu on the Ziggs this time. The Spyrax on the Nico, and the carry Yuji on Kindred. We'll have a nice response from Wildcard. Again, a team that no one should count out. It feels like are always the underdogs, even if they are at the top of our table.
Again, coming into today, I thought this was the matchup between the two hottest teams we have in Challengers. TLC put up a rather dominant 2-0 against Disguise, so they might have proved me wrong here, but I think that what we've seen coming into today in recent weeks, FlyQuest looked outstanding yesterday. They cleaned up some of the mistakes they were making in Week 3, now in Week 5, and Wildcard have continued to beat some of our top teams and make a claim they are a top team on their own here. in Challengers. So good opportunity to continue to prove that. A win here against FlyQuest would mean that they are tied for second in the standings moving forward. That Wildcard would, I'd say, very much like to keep.
Well, make sure you're spamming in chat who you think's going to win this final game. If we're going to get a split series or FlyQuest take the 2-0, type in FlyC, FlyQuest, and WC for Wildcard. A lot of Wildcard representation, especially wanting a comeback from this hot team. And a lot of the combos we were seeing out of them in that early part of game number 1. Now we do get that opposite side start for both these junglers.
Yeah, I like the start for each jungler, as I think the Cassante plus the Nico should have shoved here early in each matchup. So I think Keel taking these camps away first will prevent an invade on this side from the side of FlyQuest. And Zig's not... They don't push hard enough early against the Felios to get things in. So I don't think that UG will be open to actually take the bot camps of Keel. But we'll see. I think it's an option for FlyQuest, especially... given how that wave is set up right now. Ziggs can AoE that down if they really want push for FlyQuest. And my eyes are really on Yuji if he crosses to his side of the jungle here, or if he decides to invade with that red buff.
Cool. Trying to go nice through buff. The minions there, but can't do so. Get a nice little trade back in the 2v2, as it should just be a heavily contested bot lane 2v2 here as well.
Yuji going to go to his own side of the jungle, so... will not be able to invade Keel on Poppy. I think that's a good start from each of our junglers, who I think very highly of UG and Keel, each in our Challengers League, so good to see them.
Yeah.
I mean, just having good starts. Definitely junglers that not only are mechanically gifted, especially on the side of UG, but also I think just very intelligent. So I think the start for Keel is a good example of that.
Again, UG has been a guy that's been in the conversation of our MVP almost every split that's been a part of the league. And it has been really, really cool to see him come through. Speaking of, though, seeing something come through, we do have our tweet from Hazel. He's the real deal. Dragon Steel. Highlight reel, full of zeal. McChickens, every meal. Beats you in the jungle clear. Heal. As this man right there has been the most underrated jungler in our league, and now he's trying to make FlyQuest recognize that. And Masu will have to burn his flash early.
That catches Masu in rotation. That's a nice pickup here for the side of Wildcard. Will be... first Crab going over to Keel if he so chooses, but that flash taken away by the Ziggs. Keel has a flash of his own. I want to say Keel preemptively flash on the Masu and start the party off that way.
That'll be first mark for UG. He'll be looking for that vertical style clear, but Keel not able to find that early gank that they did find in game number 1 on the Poppy. That is where I want to go back to this matchup in specific. Not only UG versus Keel and how much they've grown in their own developmental cycles, but also the Poppy versus the Kindred. I think Keel has a lot of potential to skirmish. I would love to see some more forward advances from him, just like we're seeing on that bottom side, continue.
Yeah, we saw this matchup in game 1 of the day. Poppy, of course, needs to make plays early. You do get outscaled. Something clever I did like. Oftentimes we see Poppy start Raptors and go AoE camps, but Keel started on the red. Actually prevented UG from getting the Raptor respawn, as Keel knew that he would finish his clear down here and support his bot lane. He's actually taking Romp. And he's sneaking right on back, so the focus on FlyQuest bot lane does continue.
Such an awkward wave state.
Can he get in the next rush? Oh, he can. Okay, this is good.
Oh, wait, what? Spyrax with the well-played. Hope you appreciated that one, Staligo. His first blood went to FlyQuest, and they're trying to fight down bot side as well. Winsome is caught. Keel gets the kill instead. Donbray will make it out towards the alcove, and Keel is looking for more here. He's already gotten one, but Lynn's a little bit afraid to step up. We've got trade back and forth from both sides.
And I have to take a look at how mid went down, but love this from Keel, just really focusing on protecting this bot lane. Here's
Masu. He couldn't get the satchel. Keel gets a second one.
Talked about that preemptive flash coming out from Keel to attack Masu. Wildcard get a lead in the bot side. 2 kills go over to Keel. We're going to get a replay of Spyrax. Oh, it's just going to be an EQ here on Sligo. Yeah, Sligo's trying to get the cannon minion. Ends up going down. Little, oh, okay.
Pop, pop, pop.
Up goes the Weasel as Azir ends up getting cut down by Nico, but then on the flip side, Keel has no items. Yuji has 2 longswords, but you can see how difficult it is to fight in the Poppy early. She has so much strength. Able to throw down Q, find the double Q here on the backside for Yuji too, as he gets forced out.
Donbray and Keel, though.
Yeah, Steadfast presence was really nice, and then Donbray able to find the re-engage on the Masu. Masu just trying to pull this wave, find what he can. Ends up going down in the back half. Flash committed there by Keel to make sure that connects. So he has Hex Flash available now. That's okay. And now we'll see where else Keel can go on the map, as Revisit Bot is going to be available for the side of Wildcard if they so choose.
And we were wanting Keel to be active, be proactive, and 2 kills on the Poppy enables that. Now Masu and Winsome will be looking to get some vision. They're playing very reserved here.
Oh,
and you love to see some of the vision, but Keel has an incredible backline access to Spyrax here with no knowledge.
He actually Hex Flashed over. Okay. He's going to get spotted by this controller, but he wants to continue to attack bot. So he's going to get the bad news now. That was really creative attempt, though, from Keel.
Has to hurry up and get around the corner there.
Yeah, he's going to get out of there. He thinks that Yuji is going to be going for his red spawn, which he is correct about, so that's why Keel's not going to stick around. Given that he was spotted and has that as well, has some other things to do on the map. Nice attempt, honestly, from Keel, but better defense coming out from FlyQuest bot lane. Because they know they're on the back foot without summoner spells, and they worded themselves out well there.
And man, I just can't speak enough about Keel. I know you had the spawn tweets. You've had a lot of love from other junglers as well towards Keel and how important he has been for Wildcard's success over this last period of time, especially this year. But specifically, just the way this man thinks about the game, right? He is confident in himself, but he's not showboating. Right? In it, that 2v2, he was taking the trash talk for a majority of it from APA and Bradley and just letting it show on the ARAM Rift that he was the better jungler or he was the better mechanical player. And I think those kind of like speak quietly but carry a big stick players is huge. I think Keel, while he does speak up a little bit occasionally, I think he still is underrated because of the fact that he just goes out there and handles business.
Speaking of handling business, Spyrax is going to get a little bit of a boost to his business there in the mid lane. And quietly, this is the first time we looked at the top lane matchup, which I would like to credit our observers for.
And we're gone.
No one wants to look up there. But hey, 2 plates go over to Cassante. I feel like that is worth highlighting as Faisal continues to show that his Cassante is one to be feared. As Sligo doesn't find the combo. Dombre wasn't able to connect with that Zenith plate. And Spyrax able to sneak on out of there, which means Rift Herald will be started up by UG. Keel doesn't have access to 6 yet.
He doesn't. UG should be able to push this one. He still only has that 1 mark. His other hits just spawn on the other side of the map. Though Zamudo in a solo does get the flash out. Faisal has his still, so Zamudo forced to back away with no TP. And that should be more plates going to Faisal.
Yeah, he does have that ultimate available if he wants to try and greed it out, which he will. He's going to have Keel come up here and support him. He got the shield back. I think Zamudo's going to be fine to pick up this wave, but still, Faisal doing a really nice job in this matchup, putting pressure on the Malphite.
Faisal overextends here, though. This is something Keel can absolutely punish. He's trying to get in range with that steadfast presence, but he can't, as they're still going to go all the way in. The Unstoppable Force has already been used. Faisal gets away.
Honestly, good attempt. Faisal using that E, reacting to the Unstoppable Force, really good. He's going to pull the wave to make sure this shoves into him. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to line up the use. Malphite has to continue the space. Oh, never mind. Little game of cat and mouse here between our top laners.
Who's going to go? Who's going to stay? Who's going to go? Are you going to go? Am I going to stay? Are you going to go? Are we going to go? Are we going to fight? We're going to have fun. I guess we'll find out very soon as Zamudo try to clear this wave as best he can. I do want to see, though, as we get the TP back from Spyrax into the lane, I do expect to see the kind of continued uptick in tempo from Keel, even with 1,000 gold lead in FlyQuest pocket. He'll have to clear through this side very quickly and see where he can influence next, because you know Yuji's already looking.
Keel is going to get the bad news. We found him out. Not able to get that mark popped, but...
Are you a fan of the Bad News Bears?
Oh, great movie.
All right. Oh. See Spyrax go a little bit wide with that pop blossom, but it doesn't mean that FlyQuest don't want this fight, and Keel gets taken out by Winsome as that Ignite burns all day long, and Donbray just gives his life back with a solar play in the end. A nice Moonlight Vigil, but the Lamb's Respite is clutch, and Wildcard lose out on the bottom side trade.
Insta 3 flashes coming out to respond to Spyrax's own, and they still get the kill in the end. That's well worth it, man, as Spyrax has got everything off of the side of Wildcard.
Spyrax just has been on another level, right? This guy who has come up from the collegiate scene, a promotion from Maryville University, picked up by FlyQuest, and has been a rock in the mid lane for them consistently. And it has been so cool to see his confidence just play through this split. I feel like a lot of last split, he was looking to grow himself. He was looking to figure out what he wanted to learn and grow through. But this split, you're just seeing so many decisive moments from him.
It is a split where, like, APA talked about, like, some of the mid laners have been really strong in the league historically, like Copy and Insanity, outplaying this split. As I think that has opened up some space for some other mid laners to stand out. APA, of course, being one of them now at LCS, and Spyrax also, I think, has been fantastic these last couple of weeks. I talked about FlyQuest really solving some of the mistakes they had in week 3 and leveling up their play. Some of that has definitely been their individual play, as well as Spyrax and FlySalt to me have really stepped it up, as Donbury might be in trouble here.
They are in a lot of trouble. There's Masu picking up one for himself, and now Keel just has to force his way out with the heroic charge, but Yuji picks him up too. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a bit unfortunate. Yuji had the mark on Keel, and he switched it over to Saligo. But you know what is in their sights? It's this charge on mid lane for Spyrax, and more gold for the Giga Chad mid laner of FlyQuest.
I mean, not just Spyrax. Look at how far ahead Yuji is. He had Trinity Force for that fight at 12 minutes.
30 CS up.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't make plays as the Poppy, this is what happened. As the Kindred can continue to ramp.
But he made plays, Cubby.
He did. I mean, it's Kindred, man.
We've seen it twice today,
Yeah.
right? Kindred has destroyed games.
Champion is the reason it's got a very high ban rate in Challengers, as Wildcard tried to take a skirmish, but numbers were there for FlyQuest as Masu was able to join and connects everything with the Nautilus combo. It's nice to see Masu honestly flexing a little bit of mage play here, as again a player that I think is very strong. I think has good opportunities and chances to be an LCS this upcoming year. We haven't really seen mage play out of him, so it's kind of fun seeing him find the zigs and the Karthus angles and look pretty good on these for the first time.
The Wi-Fi Wizard, now just the Wizard. We'll see what he can do here to help take down Donbury, and that's multiple catch-outs onto the support of Wildcard, and good capitalizations from FlyQuest.
If you're behind on Leona, this is how games can look, as you have no escape. Great control from Masu to find the satchel charge placement, just to force Donbury to either walk backwards, get charged in, or walk around and die, as that kill just gets it over.
Great options. I feel like a lot of things to work through there.
I mean, really puts him in a bind. Good play coming out of FlyQuest. Oh,
it's always the clone.
you can see Spyrax a lot. Like whenever he casts the clone, he's trying to throw out a recall, sneaking in there because you get the clone to stick around longer.
Oh, the helicopter.
Yeah, kind of a small thing. Nice.
I read a post the other day that it's actually you're not allowed to do that in the LPL anymore. So I think it was a meme post, but I thought it was hilarious.
Really?
Because it's so mean. Like, it lasts for so long when you cast the recall. It's just ridiculous. You think about Maokai saplings. Well, you got a little bit of that here, and some vision control that FlyQuest desperately love to have in terms of their objective contests and the way they approach this game.
It's quite interesting, actually, coming out from the side of Fly. As God, I mean, looking at this game from the Wildcard perspective, I hate to do this, you know, the lens of Wildcard. Feels like this game really does boil down to if Lens can actually make plays. And I think he's going to need a Gale Force. Yeah, he's going to need a Gale Force because you got to get out of the
That's the next hump. That's the next hump. All right, you got 5 more minutes. You can just keep working, keep going on the treadmill. You got your KDAs, you got your gold percentage up there on the wall. You got a goal here. It's looking like the weights are coming off for Masu. He's in trouble, though, as the Moonlight Vigil comes through. Big Pop Blossom from Spyrax, and it's a lockdown onto Donbury, who takes his 4th death, and Yuji goes on a killing spree.
Zamudo was rotating over to try and join the fight. I think Wildcard might still look.
Have it.
This game is pretty outlandish.
So
Wildcard.
Look at this. Yeah, Zamudo just tries to force it on Yuji, but there's no way he was getting anything out of that one.
Game's pretty out of Wildcard's hands at the moment as awesome FlyQuest, man. I mean, again, Wildcard's a team that's really difficult to draft against. I feel like FlyQuest have gotten 2 pretty sound drafts for themselves, and they proved they could play around the Rumble comp. Now they're proving that, I mean, it's Yuji, man. Playing the Kindred comps has always been something that's been good for Yuji in his career. This Kindred 3-1 this split, looking like it's going to move to 4-1, and FlyQuest, they're proving that they might be the hottest team that we have in Challengers right now, Mazel, as they continue to scale up and improve. Donbury trying to save this outer turret, but the Satchel Charge able to snag it. Everyone jumps into the Nikos. The Spyrax just presses R, throws everyone up in the air and says that's A-okay, and then rotating over. He's getting pinched by Faisal. He's in a little bit too deep, as it's a little bit of a split call here from Wildcard.
Thank you. We don't have to see that one. All right.
We don't have to see the rock go down.
We don't have to see the mountain get carved into stones, but it is FlyQuest who honestly, at this point, I'm getting a bit of deja vu from spring. Their late season resurgence, and especially the kind of combination with Winsome that started developing, was so good last split, and they are looking like they're trudging right along here, as it's going to be an over 6K gold lead and a third catch out on to Mr. Keel. The Rift Herald down bottom lane. It is so early, Cubby, and they already have such a big lead. No! Faisal with the stutter, unstoppable. Saligo will have to try to get out, but he's just dodging and weaving, and a solo kill for Faisal. He should die here. Land's able to get something back. A shutdown goes over, but what does it really do as your tier 2 in bot lane goes out?
Man, Keel blast coned into a bouncing bomb from Masu over the wall, and then, I mean, everyone on FlyQuest just seems to be firing. We saw this yesterday in their match against AoE. This was a team, again, I had high expectations for this split, as last split when Masu was able to join them in LA and Winsome found his way on the Challengers roster, they won 15-5 overall as a team. Like, this was a team that I really felt like wasn't really meeting the expectation that I had for them, with Faisal stepping in, even just changing out one member. It really feels like in the back half of the split, this second round robin, they are starting to hit their stride, and oh boy, are they putting the clamps down on the wild card.
We were talking about Faisal being a little bit of an upgrade for FlyQuest. Well, he gets upgraded out of that fight. It will be the Keeper's Verdict utilized by Keel, but again, I think the FlyQuest strong part is Fyrax and catching out Keel here with Yuji. And with Winsome right behind him, they just have to leave him. Saligo can't even decide if he wants to go in to give an auto attack to help his jungler, but he can't. And we highlighted Keel so much. We've highlighted Masu, right? Masu feels like the new face of FlyQuest, but there's a face that never left. I know we've talked about him so much, but you can't stop Yuji, again, on this Kindred, but as a whole, man, since he came into the league, since his short competitive experience, it has been incredible to watch him pick apart teams at this level.
The way he's playing with Cryo in this Kindred too has just been really sound, as Keel, I think it has been our strongest jungler of the split in Challengers, but this draft a little bit tough for Keel to play, especially once he gets behind, given the push that Spyrax had mid. Spyrax found that solo kill, and Nico has a lot of shoves, so I think the pairing with the Kindred's really strong from FlyQuest. It's a good read from them. And this full court press has just been something that Wildcard has not been able to deal with out of FlyQuest. This Wildcard just getting outmatched. It feels like every single point on the Rift and stuff.
Yeah. It is a 8,000 gold lead at 18.5 minutes in. It is a second dragon now, looking at inhib turrets in the bottom side. And it is all FlyQuest all day long. And you do get that Black Cleaver completed, second item for Yuji as well. The strength does not stop. I think you might need to add a little bit more weight to Masu. I don't know. We want to go back to that picture earlier.
I mean, he's got a whole new weight now with the AP champs.
You got to put a wizard hat. That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. I need to put a wizard hat on his picture. I'll do it. I promise.
You got like weighted shoulder pads, you know, with those now too. God, I mean, for a series we're really excited about the back half of the day. FlyQuest have made this business as usual, man. This has been really impressive coming out of them.
You see that total gold on the left side is not something you want to see myself. Just gets to do whatever he wants. Keel is forcing onto Spyrax, but I don't think that's something he necessarily can take. They're actually trying to find Zamudo over on Masu. They might find him. That's just one piece to the puzzle, as Winsome is tanking up a store. Zamudo flashes for the shutdown kill. And Wildcard actually gets under, but here comes Spyrax. Here comes Yuji and the big pop blossom. You still gotta watch out. That Lamb's Respite is buying a lot of time. And Wildcard, they found a fight. That Sundisk is actually doing some work here for him. It's the nice little triple tangle farm and a double for Faisal. It's not looking good. And Wildcard, they're going red.
It was all good, fine and dandy when they were sitting under that little Shurima Sundisk. It's like TFT, man. You got Azir in the back just getting powered up by the Shurima buff, but once they escape that, FlyQuest able to make sure the rest of them go down. As, I mean, respect for Wildcard for finding this angle. It was a TP in from Zamudo. Ends up getting on the monster. That's why Keel was keeping things so busy early on. But once Zamudo gets in here, I mean, Masu gets fully focused. Ziggs was never able to purely set up, and then from here, I think pick off Winsome, shoves him back in. It's looking pretty good for Wildcard. I mean, they're down 8K gold, but it's about the best scenario we're going to get. FlySol and Spyrax, they're still a little bit fed this game. I think Yuji goes a little bit ham to try and take down the Azir, which ends up creating a few problems afterwards, but really well played from FlySol. See, takes down Lens, then able to ult himself out, and then this triple root from Spyrax. These solo laners from FlyQuest, man, playing really well today.
God, it's so despicable. Like, first and foremost, you had the unstoppable through the Azir wall earlier, but the fact that he is literally just walking up behind their defensive structure and walking at Lens, that can't happen if you want any success for Wildcard, and FlySol knows that. Zamudo has to use his unstoppable force out, will get the double bomb combo there, but it's not going to be enough to take him out. It is FlyQuest looking back onto the Baron.
That should be enough to start this up. Zamudo doesn't have ult, doesn't have TP. They know they've fully forced him out. They're trying to use Masu to maybe get a little bit more poke down on the Wildcard before they actually start this, but here we go. Lanes get shoved in, FlyQuest grouped up. Seen FlyQuest end games very quickly from this game state, but also try to end games a little bit too quick.
Keel's also gotten some steals. All right,
that's
you
true.
heard that copy pasta earlier. Keel, the steal machine. Can he make it happen? If he walks into Spyrax, it's not. Has about 4,000 health comes through. He does not have flash. He does not have any way to get over, but he goes anyways with the rest of the team, and it's going to be enough, maybe. The Pop Blossom misses, and it's Keel who steals the Baron! This Soligo can't get back over the wall, though. He can't help. He just needs to get out with this Baron buff as the Turo Baron buff gets stolen away by a struggling Wildcard.
I'll take it, though. I mean, 1 minute left on the Dragon. I think FlyQuest are going to pick up that top inner turret for sure, but best case scenario you can get for Wildcard, and it's not like they don't have scaling. It's still an Azir and a Felios backline. FlyQuest have the ability to combo always with the Ziggs. You need to execute that well. As taking another look, how did Keel even get in here? I think FlySol threw him in the pit.
I think he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
He literally
not
did.
ideal.
Wow. Because I was like, he doesn't have flash. He doesn't have anything. But FlySol, unfortunately for FlyQuest, ends up hitting that Q3 on him.
Tries to drag him out. Yuji wasn't able to connect with the Smite. Getting it down there, as looks like Yuji didn't even have Smite available.
No.
So maybe Lamb's Respite would have been available to keep that thing alive. It's like another weird option they could have had, but not the case. And Wildcard going to pick up some nice standing gold, as the objective bounties have not stopped. They need a lot of pity party gold to get back in this one, and Riot Games willing to give it to them, as they got that on the Baron. Now the top outer turret. We'll see what else they can find as they're trying to stabilize this game.
Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter. It's a minion helicopter this time around. We do see Dragon spawning right now and already preemptively started up by FlyQuest. And yes, they've got a big chunk in their gold lead, but it's still 7,000 at 23 and 45 seconds in. This will be a third Dragon and Dragon Soul point for FlyQuest Challengers.
I think Wildcard are willing to give this. They can pick up gold elsewhere. They need to get more objective bounties and more gold. You can see FlySol really struggling against this Gnasher's Tooth Azir now to try and stop him. As the comp from FlyQuest,
I don't know if they do this. Okay, the Unstoppable Force does get used. So a couple trades of the ultis between Spyrax and Zamudo. Won't go anywhere else.
I will say the comp from FlyQuest, you gotta be ever so slightly careful here. I think the game is still very much in their control, but Azir gives you control over Lamb's Respite later in the game as well. And Soligo with the Gnasher's Tooth gets to interact with most champions that are not named Ziggs in this game, so still is opportunity for Wildcard, who have picked up quite a few levels in this stead. They're not down too terribly across the board. The gold lead's tough, but at least the carries have the gold they need.
Keel's actually going to go for a little bit of a tussle on the FlySol, but realizes Yuji is right behind him there. Does get the slow down, and Yuji is just chunking him out with a couple auto attacks and a Q. See FlyQuest with a lot of power on the map here as well. Now moving through the mid lane, they will have this extremely strong siege composition with Masu.
Honestly, Giselle, bit of a deep breath here. We're going to let this one sit a little bit. Get nothing up for 250. Game was very one-sided in favor of FlyQuest. Wildcard, props to them. I think that fight top lane was actually rather creative. As mentioned, the steal was rather ambitious. As FlyQuest weren't quite able to
for a reason.
Yep. And it's a bit of a game. As FlyQuest champions, the Nico does fall off a bit. Playable. That's the
I feel
cope
like
if you're a Wildcard
yeah,
fan.
Go William over there.
A little bit.
I didn't know you had a delivery today.
A little bit.
There is still big engage possibilities, little moments for Wildcard, but right now it is holistically FlyQuest in the front seat, in the front left seat, driving the vehicle, and Wildcard is sitting in the back. Are we there yet?
I mean, at this point, FlyQuest, they're just waiting for the monster objectives to come up. They can't break the base without Baron. And of course, Quad Soul would be rather valuable on champions like Nico and Cassante, especially. Not too bad. Okay, here we go.
A bit overextended was Masu. The Moonlight Vigil connects. The
course.
sniper shot comes through. Lens
Well
gets
done.
one. And the TP as well. It's falling dominoes for FlyQuest, and they just want to keep going. Wildcard, they're fighting under the turret now, but they got to be careful because the wave clear is there, and they don't have any minions.
Great force from Zamudo as he catches Masu too far up while it was the rest of FlyQuest in rotation. That's big too, as you can see Masu, he actually just sold his Magi's. He had a Magi's with about 15 plus stacks, got rid of it now. He's going to start building other items because that's no longer valuable. Ends up finishing up the Seraphs, but will protect Masu moving forward, but still nice pick here for Wildcard as they get quite a bit of gold off of two of the carries from FlyQuest. And again, Wildcard continue to show some grit here, Mazel. Find their way back in. LDR now wrapped up for Aphelios. That's a pretty big deal. I mean,
It is.
it's gonna have to be FlyQuest starting fights. I really feel like if Nico isn't starting fights, Wildcard are the ones pulling the trigger with the Malphite. I think things get a lot harder for FlyQuest to execute the fights as cleanly as we've seen.
Yeah, it does indeed. And their gold lead, they've had a consistent like 8,000, 9,000 gold lead. It's down to 6,000 now. And also a lot of Abyssal Masks utilized by Wildcard to stop a lot of the AP coming in from Masu and Spyrax. Now, though, FlyQuest still with this lead, are still deadly, and Keel goes down to a rampage for our Mongolian monster. Yuji has now the bomb on top of everything, and the dominoes start going the other way, Cubby.
Okay, FlyQuest. We made a few mistakes. We're not playing around this time around. Flash on Nikhil, who was flashless from the last play. Takes Smite off the board. Baron is spawning. Will be free for FlyQuest. Let's bounce back from now.
Now, if you might be wondering why Yuji is the Mongolian monster, first and foremost, I reached out and asked him if that's okay. He actually likes the nickname. But second of all, this man, one of the only, if not the only, Mongolian player that has made it in a trajectory like this, right? He has reached Challenger across the globe in all the major regions, and he is coming into NACL every split and showing off how damn good he is. We get the Turo Baron buff right there for FlyQuest Challengers.
All right. This has been a really good game from FlyQuest, minus like 2 or 3 plays. So I'm hoping that FlyQuest can make sure they wrap this one up cleanly, as this Turo Baron buff should be enough on their side, as it has been a massive game, especially from UG. I feel like Spyrax opened up a lot of room for him, and that's so what he did. UG can have a lot of this competition, but this man, as you highlighted Mazel, he has hit, and one of the other reasons to get excited about UG, hit Challenger on every single major region server. Some while even playing Combat earlier with over 100 ping. Rather impressive for him. And Spyrax can put about out of that Leona Hall. One cooldown taken away from the side of Wildcard. Quad Soul was picked up by Yuji. So whenever FlyQuest off, it's going to be going super fast.
Gotta go quick. The zoomies without the Yumi. Thank God. As now we do see the siege continue to be here. It's about a 30-minute game right now, but a gigantic lead as Fysol's pushing inside lane as well. This could be the final gasp of Wildcard in this series.
Oh, that's on the lens.
They might actually find it. The Mega Inferno Bomb as well on top of it. They do have a bit of a fight back now. The Keeper's Verdict has been used on Fysol, but FlyQuest are right back here, and they have still a minute and a half on the Baron buff too. They're now looking at Nexus Tower. Zamudo tries to go in, tries to big engage. The Pop Blossom comes back though, connects on the 2, and those are the tanky members. Lens gets pushed back by the Satchel Charge, and that's just a beautifully executed fight and a beautifully executed series from FlyQuest. You've got Yuji going forward. He's got the Leo's Respite, and he's going to hop right back in. He's looking for more. He gets taken out, but it doesn't matter because you still got Faisal Masu and Winsome to finish off the game. And a clean 2-0 from our hottest team in NACL.
And they put themselves in a solo second place over Wildcard with that 2-0, putting 2 games in between themselves and TL, and 2 games ahead of the competition as well, Mazel, as a really big 2-0 coming out from FlyQuest. And I gotta say, this team, it feels like all 5 members are firing individually as well as a team, as they have played really well together. I think that this is a team that can break a lot of strats out onto the Rift, and whenever they break out a new strat, it always feels like they have a good idea of how to play it. So I feel like the Kindred plus the Nico combo that time around got a lot of priority to help Kindred get ahead. Keel wasn't able to break it on the bot side. See Masu doing a lot of zoning there against Lens, and seeing him play mages at this level as well continues to add to the degree of how excited we are about Masu as a prospect moving forward as well.
He might be the Wi-Fi wizard, but at this point, he's just that wizard. Now, we do have an interview with FlyQuest coming off of the break after this, so make sure you don't miss it as we hear from the Victorious team.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.
Hello, hello, and welcome in. It is the Verizon post-game interview, and I'm with the victorious 2-0 jungler of the day. It is UG from FlyQuest Challengers. Gotta ask you, first and foremost, how does it feel getting to the 2-0?
Feels pretty good. We had like bad week of scrims, but we're winning, so it feels good, yeah.
Bad week of scrims. You would have confused me because you guys right now are 4-0 on this week. As well, with this victory, you are by yourself in 2nd place behind Team Liquid Challengers. So how does that feel?
I mean, it feels pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe TL will like drop some games. Maybe we can get like 1st place, maybe. Yeah,
hey,
some
who knows?
copium. Yeah.
Some copium. Hey, either way, 2nd place, not a bad finish for you guys. And when we kind of look at how your team has been, you guys were slumping a little bit there for, about a week where you guys were having some hiccups. Now you're looking a lot better. So how confident do you feel as we get closer to the end of the season and get closer to playoffs that FlyQuest will do?
I think we'll do well, but I think we have so many mistakes to fix it. I think we just randomly take like so many bad fights and lose the game a lot, so I think we'll try to fix it for playoffs.
Okay, that is fair. I do want to ask you one question. There was that top lane fight in game 2 that you guys had. The one around the Zir turret where you guys almost lost the fight, and then it was Spyrex and Faisal turning it around. So what were the comms like for that fight?
I don't even remember, to be honest, but I was just saying like I got puppy ulted, I got puppy ulted, so I'm out, so. And after that, I just flashed in and killed myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, you did kind of rejoin the fight, flashed in, but you know what? You still looked really good on the Kindred. You were able to get a lot of early leads, and when we look against someone like Keel, who has been getting a lot of praise here in the Challengers League, you yourself, when you first joined in with FlyQuest last year, we were praising you a lot. How do you feel that you have grown as a player, especially when you compare yourself to someone like Keel, who's getting a lot of attention?
I think I grew like. At first, I only used to know how to play like I guess carry champs, but I think I can play any style now. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that's the biggest difference you have from last year to this year?
Yeah, I mean that would be the biggest one.
Okay, and then how do you think you compare to someone like Keel on the other side?
I do think he's good when he plays like the weird champs, like Nunu characters. But I think if he plays this meta champs, I think he's pretty good, but I think he's not that good, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who's the best jungler then in Challengers?
I think it's Mir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not yourself? You're not gonna go and say you're the best jungler?
Nah, I think Mir is just the best right now.
All right.
Just
Are you
now,
second
yeah.
best at least?
Maybe, not sure. Yeah.
Come on, I believe you're second best. At least you're in the running. You're definitely someone we've always seen pop off in the past. And speaking of pop off, I know we were talking a little bit about Faisal and how Faisal was in that last game. He definitely had some pop off moments. So, what would you say has been the big change now playing with someone like Faisal compared to who you played with before in Philip?
I think Faisal is very good on weak side, and he doesn't really like ask for resources. I think back then, I think Flop used to play a lot of carry champs, and he also asked for like a lot of resources. So I think that would be like the biggest difference.
Okay, and that's very fair. Definitely have seen that from Faisal. And then let's talk about playing with Masu, another young player on the team, because you're in your second year here in Challengers, and this is his first one. So how have you seen the growth of someone like Masu when you compare it to how you were last year?
I think at start Masu was always good, so I think he's just growing. I think when I started playing, I was just like kind of hinting at first, but I think Masu was just smurfing at first, so yeah.
All right, that is very fair. And before I let you go celebrate with FlyQuest, any shoutouts you want to give?
Shout out to the managers and the coaches and all the players and all the people who are watching.
All right, well, thank you so much, Yuji. Congratulations on the 2-0. Go celebrate with the team. I know you got some laughs from your teammates right behind you, so go enjoy your time with them. Thank you so much for the Verizon post-game interview.
All right.
All right, and I'm going to welcome back in Mazel and Cubby so we can round out the day. There's been quite an exciting day of League of Legends, you two. Yeah. And honestly, I'm quite shaken up by the shakeup we have with the standings, especially when we get a look at them, because when we came into today, Team Liquid Challengers, they are a #1 team. They remain the #1 team, but we were wondering, how were they doing as of late? They had been slumping. It feels like today with Hayri had such a big performance for the team.
Really great to see, honestly, especially, given a really good interview that Harry gave yesterday. Fun to hear Bradley talk about being rejoined with his old teammate as well, and being rather joyful that he was able to pull off some improved tank play himself, show Harry that he's learned something, especially giving kudos to Lord Morgan over there on Fred Prion, which is fun. But I think FlyQuest separating themselves from the pack. Yeah. Wildcard and DSG were both dropped 2 games today. FlyQuest won there too, of course, toppling Wildcard in that last series. Able to build some space, and something that I had high expectations for the FlyQuest roster coming into this split. And good to see them really scaling in the back half of the season.
I know we had a lot of focus on the last 2 matchups, but gotta give credit to the 1-1 from Taco and EGC, right? Making things even more contested in that right side, and especially where our cutoff is top 8.
Excited to see the AoE 2-0 as well. They continue to be hot. I think they're playing a lot better in the back half of this.
I was just about to ask you guys about the bottom part of the standings, because it's kind of funny. We didn't see that much of a shakeup in the bottom half, right? They're all still within 2 games. That's the big thing. Yeah, AoE gets the 2-0, but they're all still within 2 games of one another.
I gotta check the schedule real quick before I say something wild here.
Say something. I mean, I'd prefer if you said something wild, because then it's funnier when you're wrong, Cubby.
That's at least
AoE. There is a 0% chance that AoE is in that promotion relegation tournament. They're getting through. They play Supernova and Team Fish Taco coming up. So I think there's no way that we see AoE drop. On the flip side, though, Maryville's schedule on the way out, they have to play Wildcard, FLYC, and Fear. And then also Supernova. They have to play TLC, FLYC, AoE, and DSG.
And
so
Taco
I
and
think
EGC also have tough roads ahead, right? Like,
Taco
everybody's road is tough.
I don't know, man. I've seen some crazy things coming in from this one, but
I will say,
I'm gonna
Taco... Hold on.
Okay, what do you got? What do you got?
Hold on.
What's the spice?
Taco MU is literally the last match that we have on the last day of regular season. That actually could determine, with how the standings are right now, if things stay similar, that could determine who is in for playoffs or who is out. It'd be a very exciting last couple of days. The race we have for, honestly, the bottom 2 is closer than what we have for the top 1 right now.
That's actually kind of crazy looking at that. But the thing is, there's 4 series still left to go. So we have more League of Legends before we can even get to that point, Cubby. And before we round out the end of the day, I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Turo. The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace, where you can book any car for about just any occasion that you want. Forget your boring car rentals over at Turo.com. Go there and get an awesome car you can rent. And for you two, myself, the rest of the broadcast, we thank you all for joining us here for the LCS Challengers. We'll be back tomorrow for a more awesome League of Legends, but we're going to go raid right now. Go check out Annie. We're going to love you all. We're going to see you later. Good night.